Bum, 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 ba-bum. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Ba, 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 ba. Hi, my name is Kay, and this is my Cave of Possibilities. I have yarny knitty stuff to the left of me, cross-stitch stuff over there to the right, and here I am, stuck in the middle of you. I hope you all are having a good day. I have had a very busy 2 weeks. There was Stitch West was one weekend, and then Brooke threw a fun little pre-Halloween stitchy party last Saturday that I went to. So it has been so much cross-stitch all the time, all the time. I did record a little bit about Stitch West last week when I got home, when I was still thinking about it, and also so I could put most of my stuff away. And so I'll just insert that here. Alrighty, let's talk Stitch West. On the top of my pile is sort of what I stitched on and what I worked on. So we'll start there. On Sunday, I guess we're going to go backwards a little bit. I've worked on putting together some more of my Merry 15. This is a Biscornu type pattern by Just Nan. And I have had all the little individual motifs stitched for a very, very long time. And it has just been sitting in the bottom of a bag waiting to be put together. And the kitty is rubbing her head on the tripod. So one day at Knit Group, I sewed all 5 of the tan pieces together, and then all 5 of these tan pieces together. And then what I spent most of my time on Sunday at Stitch West was stitching the red pieces to my first grouping of the beige pieces. And so I got them all put together. I did not have, what proved to be really, really useful were some wonder clips. I didn't happen to have any of those in my stitchy kit, but Sarah, our Stitching Kingdom, linked below, go check her out. Sarah happened to have some in her stitching kit, so I borrowed some of those and was able to work around and get all these little bits put together. Plus I got 3 edges done on the bottom one, so we're just slowly going to work around until eventually we'll have them all put together, and it'll at one point in time hopefully resemble this wonderful thing. It is very slow going, you guys. You have to think about it and kind of plan, and it's very fiddly, which adds to the slowness. And so I don't know, I just decided I was going to just put it together one day. No rhyme or reason. Just pulled it out and thought, well, I'm tired of having this all ready to go and not finished. So that's what I worked on primarily on Sunday. Did I work on it some on Saturday? I might have worked on it a little bit on Saturday. Friday, after we had arrived, I went and picked up Lisa, and then we went up and we hit Swig and got 5 little swiggy drinks for everybody who we knew would be at the table. So we had Sarah, our Stitching Kingdom, Stasha of Stitching Crime, also linked below, go check her out. Stephanie, who used to Flosstube as Ivy House Crafter. She may come back, she may not. We won't put any pressure on her. And then best friend Lisa, so that was 5 of us. And then we had a 6th person at our table, Jen. She had come all by herself from the Sacramento area, and she was an absolute delight. We really enjoyed getting to know Jen more. And so she fit right in with us silly, crazy people. Some days I felt a little bad because all the 5 of us had known each other from showing up to various stitching retreats on and off, and Lisa and I have known each other since like 7th grade. So anyway, we tried our best to be welcoming and what is that word beyond welcoming, inviting. I don't know how well we succeeded because we still knew each other very well. Anyway, Lisa and I bought drinks. We passed them out. We sat at a table. We had a great time. It took me a while to get settled on Friday just because it was so busy, people coming and going and coming and going, and my brain just wasn't quite ready for it yet. But when it did settle down enough, I pulled out the Groovy Chicks from Satsuma Street and worked away a little bit on the blue, the little blue guy. Here we go. So I got a good chunk of it done. There's still quite a ways to go, but it was easy enough and simple enough to work on while I was there. In between working on this, Jen had brought a project for everybody to stitch a random motif on, and so we all passed that around the table and worked on random motifs. And of course I can't do anything the way I'm supposed to, and so the pattern had several single square stitches. I think they're supposed to be snowflakes, just scattered all over. And so I took out a big length of variegated purple floss, and I stitched a whole bunch on the left-hand side of the project, purple snowflakes, because I am not always going to follow the rules. So that's what I stitched on there. Let's see. The last thing that I actively worked on was Saturday. So Saturday I put some work into the color of water. Here's the name of that pattern. It's in German. I'm not going to pronounce it because I do not know a lick of German. Put that back away. And I finished, which way is up? This is my up, this is the pattern up. Anyway, I finished everything in this light green square. So there was a little bit of stitching that I did on the gray filigree pattern, and then I went back and filled in with that very, very light gray. And I worked on that on Saturday. I had a great time talking to everybody. Thank you, and it was so lovely to meet those of you who stopped by to chat with me, and there were several of you who stopped by to chat that I have met before, and we had a good time. Let's see, I chatted with a lot of people, met a lot of new people, really, really enjoyed it. Let's see, the next pile that I have organized here is the retreat project. Tiny Modernist was our guest designer, and she designed this very bright, it's really quite fun, pattern for us with little bits of the desert and some mountains and some stitching and a little bit of this and that, and I really like the color she chose for the motifs. I don't know that I will hunt down this bright yellow background fabric. It is fun, but I think I prefer something a little more subtle. But I thought it's a really quite a beautiful pattern. We got all the flosses, so that was delightful. She also gave us a bonus chart. A lot of the same motifs, but with in the shape of a berry. So that was fun. We commented on how these little flowers up here, they kind of look like fox faces, just a little bit. But so, also very cute, uses all of the same flosses and the fabric. And so I think this is definitely a candidate to get stitched. I don't always stitch the retreat projects, but this one's pretty cute. Pretty cute. I'll probably do the berry more than anything else, since doing the Yikes berry, I discovered that I really enjoyed those little things, so I liked doing that. Let's see. Purchases. Abby, Top Knot Stitcher, was there with a little pop-up shop, and from her I bought this little heart and hand with some Stitcher items, and 3 quirky Quakers, all the dinosaurs. So I got the T-Rex, the Stegosaurus, and the Pterodactyl. And so I have a friend who is a dinosaur lover. She has an inflatable dinosaur costume and a really terrifically fun fun Instagram channel that she posts herself in the costume. The Rex goes everywhere. He goes on vacation. Anyway, lots of fun. Next up, I was looking for a deep dark purple from Live and Dye. Well, I looked at everybody who had fabric, and nobody had bought anything. And Live and Dye LA had a limited edition purple last year, but she didn't have any of it this year because limited edition. Anyway, I stopped and chatted with her for a little bit, and she said she promised that she wasn't going to dye purple in 2005. And then she said that lasted until about February. But for the most part, she's been pretty good about not inventing new purple colors. So she didn't have a lot of purple. I did buy a couple skeins of this floss. This is, what is this? Northern Lights. It's really a dark navy with some lighter navies and some reds and a little bit of greens. Anyway, it was pretty, and so I purchased it. And then I got a couple of these Happy Stitchoween stickers. Adorable. And then there were a couple of Merry Stitchmas stickers from her. So those were fun. And then the last purchase was from Delicious Threads, another wonderful gin. And I picked up this fabric bag from her. Yes, I know my mother makes bags. And my mother makes excellent bags, but I knew I wasn't going to go out and hunt down this fabric, but I really like this fabric. And so since I knew I wasn't going to go hunt it down, I may as well just go ahead and buy it there. I didn't even look to see if it had a fun one. I usually just do muslin inside mine. Cute little red buttons, dots, red polka dots, not red buttons. Anyway, so I purchased this little thing. So without purchasing any fabric, my purchase amounts were really low for the retreat. I finished stitching the Yikes berries, which you guys saw some time ago, and then Lisa made it up, and it was really super cute. And of course I didn't take a picture of it, so hopefully I'll remember to take a picture of the Yikes berry before we go to Brooke's stitching party, which is going to be on Saturday the 25th. So I did the smalls exchange, and I drew the little gift that Nikki from Boulder Valley Creations or Boulder Valley Stitching did. And she made this darling little witch on a broom, finished in a hoop with the gorgeous little fabric on the back. And it is so cute. And then she went overboard. As you can see, she put it in this cute little pumpkin bucket. I may have to recycle the pumpkin bucket for next go round. Let's see. And in here she put in a pattern with there's floss and rickrack and all sorts of delightful stuff in there. There is a gorgeous pin, a pair of scissors, and a stitcher. I love these things so much. I love them a lot. Plus a set of cross stitch and embroidery needles, all put in there, and they were absolutely, I just overwhelmed. Absolutely loved it. Cute as can be. The lady who drew mine, I didn't catch her name, but you're out there because you said you watched me. So I'm so glad that you got it and came over and said hi, and I apologize that I do not remember your name because I'm terrible with names. One day it'll get better. I do try. Deb and Kef made Stitch West either scissor fobs or bag charms for everybody. They passed those out. Lots of fun. Elaine Bauer passed out a whole bunch of these cute little dinosaur charms. There were a couple different ones. There were keys and dinosaurs and maybe something else. I forget. Okay, looks like we've got a random assortment of things. Let's sort here. Okay, let's start with the freebie table. I dropped off a bunch of my Lizzie Kates that I had already stitched or were duplicates. So, and then every time I visited back, I think they all got claimed and had found new homes. So that's really good to hear. I picked up Just Nan Rosebuds. This was on the freebie table. And then Sweet Strawberries from Heart and Hand, also on the freebie table. So I picked those two up. And then, let's get organized. Oh, I put them over here. Stasha had a whole bunch of Just Nan patterns that she had stitched and was finished with, and offered them to me. So I picked up from her collection a Pansy Bunny, the Witchy Stitcher Mouse, Just Nan, Miss Witchy Mouse, Hazel Fun Witch Mouse, cute, Holly Go Brightly mouse, the Gingerbread Candy Mouse, yeah, and a Strawberry Heart, a little tiny pattern. So I picked up those. And then Jen, who sat at our table, was working on the Scary Bag. This is a pattern from Shepherd's Bush. And when she finished it, she offered it around, and I ended up with it. So I think I'm going to do another pincushion style stitch. Wow, my brain just totally stalled out there. So there's that. Gonna try that. Looking forward to stitching that, and that'll be a super easy, simple, small stitch. Okay, what else have I got in this? I've got gifties. Did I take everything out of there? Yep. Deb and Kef also passed around this cute little box with Stitch West, their logo. Did I turn it right through? Yep. Logo on it. Has a rubber band to help keep the lid on. As you can see, there's centimeters and inches on it. And then they said if you turn it over, you can use that groove to hold your phone as you stitch away, if you're using your phone as your pattern keeper holder thingy. So this is quite a fun little thing. You can put all sorts of accoutrements and necessities inside this too. Makes it a nice little travel piece. One of you who said you watched me quite a lot, and I believe your name started with an M. My mind says Melanie, but I'm not going to trust my brain because it is unreliable. She brought me a Stitcher survival kit. So there's a little snacking here if your blood sugar goes low, and some Kleenexes. There's some Band-Aids back here, a few emergency backup floss cards, scissors, highlighter tape, a pencil, a little bit of white yarn, all sorts of fun things in here. A little Advil. Sometimes you just need a little Advil. And she said some passion fruit drink. On the back it has a recipe to make an alcoholic drink with it, but she did say that you can make a non-alcoholic version of it, and it is really yummy. So this was fun. Let's see. Stephanie has been on a crochet kick, and so she made us all little friends to sit at the table. She made octopus for everybody, and many of us sat them on top of our drinks. So a single octopus on a drink was a drunctopie, and nope, it was a drunctopus, and multiple of them on different. They were drunctopie. I think I got the singular plural right. Drunctopus, drunctopie. Anyway, really, really cute. And then, let's see, Sarah, our Stitching Kingdom, she brought us a cute little bag with some fabric grippers of this variety, fabric grippers of this variety, and a fun pair of scissors. Let's see, a cute gal came around offering counting pins, so I ended up with a set of the purple pins. Actually, she gave the purple pins to Sarah, and I insisted on trading with Sarah, whether Sarah wanted to trade or not. The purple ones were mine, and so I think she ended up with green ones. Let's see, go here. One of the ladies had come, Carrie, all the way from England, and she passed out these darling little zipper pulls, or if you've got really small scissors, that the lobster hook might fit on the one, but she insisted that none of them were going back to England with her. So I ended up with 2 of these super darling scissor charms. Emmy Mission Stitch, linked below, passed out several tape measures. Always a welcome treat. I ended up with another gal, I didn't catch her name, came around, and she had stickers for everybody. So I got some ghosts and pumpkins and a dog with a pumpkin. More stickers. Can't have enough stickers. And then Chris Rose passed out some information on her Flosstube channel. She's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I just checked her out today, and she seemed to, I was at work and watching at 2.5 speed, so I didn't catch everything because there was some tomfoolery happening in the Excel spreadsheet that I was trying to work. But I did subscribe, so I'm sure I'm going to like her and really enjoy her. She was really fun. We sat back to back, so our chairs were, back to back, and just, she was fun. She was absolutely a delight. So this is a combination of gifts from Stasha and Jen. I don't know what I was thinking, just putting everything in one bag and not keeping it separate. So we'll see how well I do at remembering whom donated what. I know our first thing, the little snacky hands. I believe Jen brought those in. Let's see, Stasha's cute stuff was in this little bag. And one of them donated the fabric wranglers of this style. We have a cute notebook, Follow Your Dreams, with a sloth. Some very nice, Are You Tired? Put them on your face. Eye cream is not the energizing eye masks. That's what they are. Eye masks in a couple different varieties. We'll see about trying those out. I think that might have been, Stasha, was that you? No, I think that was a Jen, since the paper telling us how to use them is too big to fit in the Stasha bag. I think this might have been Stasha. It is a sewing kit that I didn't take out of it, but it has the tin to hold everything in. Some of those, heavy-duty snippers, a couple different varieties of things. What's it? Seam rippers. A couple varieties of seam rippers, a needle threader, and I'm not sure, maybe maybe this is meant to be a thimble, but it's a little round ring. I'm not entirely sure what it is supposed to be. Let's see. This is definitely a gin. She brought in a colorful set of scissors, and she loved the hedgies, so this is a floss wrapper in hedgehog shape. Very, very cute. Very cute. Such fun gifts. Let's see. At the last minute, they being Debbie and Kef, decided to have sort of like a needle minder trading center, like you have the pin trading at Disney. And so they set up a little area with some stuff so you could, you know, put down a needle minder, take a needle minder. So I seeded it with about 2 or 3. And then there wasn't much there at the time to choose from, so I wandered back by later, and I picked up this funny little pumpkin minder, purple with the spider and the button and everything. And I use this mostly just to stick on my noteboard and hold the pattern on, less to hold the needle on. And then I left 2 of my 3 needle minders that I put down, and then took the biggest, fanciest one back home with me at the end of the thing. I don't know how successful it was, but it was kind of fun to kind of wander by and see what had been left behind or what was moving and trading. So that was kind of fun and enjoyable. I had a great time talking with all of my friends and meeting some of you. Thank you for coming by to say hello. I really do appreciate it, because you know what I look like, and I have no idea what you look like. What else did we do? We ate way too much food. I got, they had some gingerbread mummies up at Neater's, which is a sandwich and pastry shop, and I taught people that the proper way to eat a gingerbread man is arms first. Try it yourself, you'll understand. I ate, I got on a nacho kick, so for 3 days of dinner I had nachos. I had nachos from Taste of Red Iguana, I had nachos from Cafe Rio, and then I had nachos from R&R Barbecue. So, you know, the Red Iguana was very spicy, their chorizo, very, very spicy. Cafe Rio, I had sweet pork on my nachos, absolutely delicious. And from R&R Barbecue, I had chopped brisket, also very delicious. So I was just in a nacho mood for some random reason. I guess that is everything. Of course, we talked and solved all the world's problems, but I don't think anybody's going to listen to a room of cross-stitchers when it comes to solving all the world's problems. But it was excellent. So that is my little insert record bit about Stitch West, and we'll just slice this into the usual video. Bye! So, as always, Stitch West, always a great time. Love sitting next to my friends. Hopefully, since it's been a week later, I will remember to put down in the links all the links I promised that I would put in there. Here's Princess for your viewing pleasure. Let's talk about the Witchy Stitchy party that Brooke threw for us. Let's move my pile of yummies over here. I need you to move. I need you to move. I arrived a little bit late to the thing. The party was to go from 9 a.m. to midnight, and I didn't feel like being anywhere at 9 a.m., especially since it's about an hour more north from where I am. So, but I did consent to leaving here at about 9:30, and we got there just after 11, before 11. What are you? Sorry, cat problems. You all know how it is. Anyway, so Lisa and I drove together, carpooling, make it better on the environment, and she had, Robin and Marla and Summer had saved a spot for us over in one corner of the room, and then Sarah and her mom Carrie had saved a spot for us over in another corner of the room, and it ended up that we were like, well, we'll divide and conquer. So Lisa went and sat with Marla and Robin and Summer and had a great time, and I sat with Sarah and Carrie, and I got to meet Cindy and Trisha? Trisha, I hope that is your name. I'm sure it's not Tracy, but that would be on par with me calling somebody the wrong name forever and ever because I'm a ditz. Alright, so at all of our places were a cute little bag with different colored tissue paper, and the color of the tissue paper indicated what you received inside. Say hello! Say hello! Cute bags. Color of your tissue paper indicated the color of your fabric that was inside, and so there was green and orange, yellow, and purple. They made sure to trade around that I ended up with a purple one. And inside, here's a better view of the bag. Cute little Halloween print on it. Inside, we received a series of flosses and this cute little Stitchy Witchy from Pickle Barrel Designs. Cute. I don't know why all the witches have to have green skin. My soft purple fabric. And along with that was a bingo card. So this is a fun new thing that I haven't seen at a retreat before. Brooke and her crew put together bingo. Small traditional board. You can see there the 4 patterns, 4 spots that I did not block off. We were also provided with cute stickers. But let's see, I wore a witchy hat. I signed up for the February party. I bought something from our vendors, which you'll see. And I did have to frog a couple stitches out of what I was working on. I realized that I had put it in 1 stitch too low and needed to pull out maybe about 20 of them and put them back in the right place. So this was really kind of fun. And if you got a bingo, for each bingo you got a ticket to put into the grand prize drawing. I only had 3 tickets, so I of course did not win the grand prize prize. Let's see. Talked, ate, talked. Brooke had a big cauldron with everybody was to bring a bag of candy for one of your little tickets to go into the grand prize. And she had a big cauldron, so you just opened your candy, put it into the big cauldron, and then with the little cauldron, I chose purple. There was also black and orange to choose from. You could fill your little cauldron up with candy from the big cauldron and have snacks to your little heart's content over at your Stitchy place. I did do a thing for the Smalls Exchange. Here are a couple of photos, so to see what I did. One that I took when I got there, just on the seat of my car as I was about to wrap it up because, of course, running a little bit late, not fully prepared for what's going on. And then this is a photo that Brooke took of everything once we, drew our prizes and stuff. So I sewed up this Yikes Berry, all the called for flosses, it was a Picture This Plus remnant. I forget what it's called, but anyway, I stitched it up. Lisa finished it. It came out absolutely beautifully. What I drew was this adorable, look how fun this is, primitive little pillow. It says Halloween there. Beautifully stitched with a fun little cauldron pin there on the one side. And all the spooky faces on the back side. Some lovely rickrack. This was done by Connie, who is one of the local gals. It was a lot of fun. So, very cute. I'm so, so pleased with this. Yay! Adorable. So it is going to, as soon as I pick off all the cat hair again, sit up on my big calyx with all the cross-stitch stuff and be wonderful. Everybody had their name put into a drawing for door prizes, and I won one of these little thread nests, purple of course. I got to my pick of 4 or 5, so open it up, put your little threads in there, and that works wonderfully. Surprise to win. That was really great. We purchased a couple of fabrics from Summer at Red Thicket, and I picked up this brown. I was talking about the gingerbread mice that Stasha gave me, and so I was looking for kind of a gingerbready color, and so I thought this might work for that gingerbread color. This is called Jupiter's Storm, and Summer says she doesn't dye this anymore. It is extremely hard to get it to repeat correctly how she likes it to come out. Put that there. And then she had a new swampy, mottly green color. This is a crookback bog that she had developed. So it's kind of a swampy green. Very nice. Here is, let's see if I can hold this so you can see it. There we go. Red Thicket. redthicket.com. I haven't been over to visit her website, but Summer said that she had updated all the websites, so there should be more wonderful stuff for you to look at, see, and order. I worked on one project while I was up there at Witchy Stitchy, and it was the Bluebird from Satsuma Street's Groovy Chicks. And let's see, this will be the most effective. I added in a lot of the colors over here. I pulled down the this part of it's a paisley over here, and just had a good time working on this. I'm doing this with primarily the called for colors, which are Cosmo flosses. The quilt shop I went to did not have 3 of those flosses, so I am using the DMC replacements that are suggested on that one. Two strands of floss over 2 linen threads. This is a 28 count, and it is ice blue, which is also the called for fabric. So I'm just not thinking out of the box at all on this one. It's just all in the box, and it is turning out really quite lovely. Move that over here. And so Brooke had announced that her next little party is going to be February 21st up in Syracuse, which is really quite close to Layton, Ogden. It's not that far away from anything. So here is a little bit of the flyer for that. So all the local ladies, all the local ladies, all the local ladies, all the local ladies, put your hands up, put your hands up. Anyway, sign up for this. It'll be a good time. I think she's planning on having 1 meal provided. There were donuts and cupcakes and all sorts of deliciousness. And so we had a really good time. Brooke throws a good party. So here is the Galentines Day, some information for the next one coming to a venue near you, if you're a local lady, in February. So, what have I been working on other than that? It took a while to put most things away from Stitch West, and now I get to put all this stuff away. And my desk area is kind of a disaster, So I'm going to have to do some shuffling of stuff around over there to even edit everything once I pull the card out of the camera and upload it into ye olde lappy toppy. So anyway, I've just stitched a little bit on Joy from Shakespeare's Peddler. This was a Nashville exclusive from this year. And I know when I talked to you either last week or last whatever when we visited, I had mentioned that I didn't think that I had enough of this, the light parchment to finish the job. And so I put an order in for some other flosses from 123 Stitch. And they sent, when I got it, I knew it wasn't a good match. It was going to be too dark. But I also knew that I didn't have enough to really take care of what I had left to stitch. So I used the new parchment that came here in the vase, and as you can see, it's a completely different color. It's much darker than the other parchment that I have. And so I have decided that I'm going to finish off the borders here and over here, bring them around, and use the rest of the light parchment that I have for those. And then I'm thinking for the letters for Joy, I'm probably going to, I looked in my stash already and I don't have any parchment, but I know I have a bunch of like whitewash and grits, because I stitched a lot of Lizzie Kate patterns in the past, so I know I have a fair amount of some of those skeins because she called for both of those colors quite regularly. So I'm going to pull those and see if I've got something that I think will work, and I think that I have enough of for the letters Joy, J-O-Y, down here at the bottom. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. Put this over here. Let's see, just a couple of other purchases in the whole crazy. I really enjoyed stitching the Yikesberry, and then I got onto 123 Stitch as you do and searched their inventory and found a little Nativity Berry, also by Erica Michaels. And so I just did the easy thing. I add everything to cart, and away we go. Ordered the called for fabric and the called for flosses. I apologize for the glare, but I'm trying to keep everything together so that I don't have mystery floss running around the house, and then when I go to start it, I have the floss with the pattern that I purchased it for. So that's like that. This is a nice dark gray, so I think that'll be a lovely stitch. I want to start that pretty soon, probably after I finish Joy. Trying to balance the number of whips that I have on hand. And then the pattern that I'm really excited for is from Lori Holt. It is the Garden of Quilts pattern. I think it's really cute. I don't know what this is. I think it's supposed to be scissors, but it looks like a syringe to me, so I'm probably going to pull off the syringe and maybe center the Garden of Quilts more in line with the rest of the thing. Maybe add another of these little scissors on the other side. Just mess around with it a little bit, just because I don't know what, I don't need a syringe on my stitching. So anyway, I thought this was absolutely beautiful, and I bought the called for color of fabric, but in a different count, and then I was a lazy kid and bought all of the flosses, like you do. And I got the needle binder as well, because if you're gonna go full crazy, you may as well go full crazy. So those are all my purchases. So I think that's everything for the last 2 weeks, except no, it's not. I'm I got back Lady of the Flag. I got her back framed. I received a call from her the Thursday before Stitch West started on Friday, so I was able to take Lady of the Flag with me to Stitch West and put her on the brag table. She turned out really, really nice. I really like the, I don't know, she just works really quite nicely. I think I did bring her in here. I think she's a little big, and I don't know how well she's gonna fit. But you can see there's the top half of her. I chose a cathedral arch on top and bottom. The black, or the dark matte is like a navy blue that really pulls from the flag, and it is a suede style finish. I don't think it's actual suede. That would be a little bit much to have a cowhide suede navy on a picture. Although I know it's not. It may have well been real for the price we ended up paying, but it was less than a rental. And then the inner matte is a gold tone metallic matte, and it matches the frame. We looked at a lot of different frames. I knew I wanted sort of a gold tone to bring out the golds in her dresses, which is why the gold inner matte. And we looked a lot of things, frames, so that she wouldn't be overpowered. So I kind of like the soft flourishes here because they pick up a little bit the flourishes of the grains that she has down at the bottom of her dress. So this is how she turned out. And I'm not seeing a big reflection in her, so I think I'm holding her okay so you guys can kind of see. But now I will be able to hang her up. I'm not entirely sure where she'll go, since my wall space is kind of at a premium. We don't know. Anyway, so I got her all done. I'm really pleased to get her back. And thinking on, well, I haven't worked any on Celtic Christmas just because busy, and she's my Saturday Sunday stitch, and busy Saturday and Sunday, so I didn't touch her. That is everything, and it's a little bit of a random lot of things. So hope you guys are doing well. Hugs and stitches, everyone. Bye. I'll probably edit this out. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you're just gonna come up and be in my business again. I don't... Look, it's everybody. Everybody wants to see you. Do you see them? Do you see them? Yeah, you don't like being hugged. No, you don't like being hugged.